From across the desert Southwest, this is 13 on Your Side.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Frank here, live outside the Yuma Palms Mall as part of our Thursday Village Jazz Series. 13 on Your Side presents the Village Jazz Series. We're out here every Thursday talking about a little jazz, and this is live jazz that we talk about from the community, and we're going to see a very nice event here starting at 6 p.m. Now, it is cloudy outside, and you may be wondering, is it going to rain? All right, should I even bother coming out there? And the answer is, of course, yes, you should definitely come out here. We're not going to see rain for at least the next several hours. It does look like it. You may even feel a couple of drops, but it's just keeping us nice and cool. We see our temperatures relatively uniform outside into the 60s and low 70s, and that's something that we're going to continue over the next several hours. Our temperatures should not budge very often, and over the next 3 hours, we're going to see for the Village Jazz Series, 6 p.m., 67 degrees, 7 p.m., 66, and 8 p.m., maybe a sprinkle off and on. You're feeling that right now, but I think that's going to continue, 65 degrees. Desert Doppler shows you where this rain is at, and it's all moving from a south to north direction, and you're seeing even a few sprinkles as we move locally throughout the area, and it's just very, very light. You'll notice the heaviest stuff is off to the east, and we zoom in just a little bit more for you, and this is what's going on. You really just don't see too much going on for us, and we're going to continue with that for the next several hours. So dry conditions, but not necessarily the case overnight. You'll see some of that rain from the east will eventually spread a little bit further to the west, and then into the morning hours on Friday, that's where you see more abundant rainfall throughout, and even by Friday, just before noon, we'll see chance for a thunderstorm as we see some of that yellow on FutureScan, more impressive rainfall in some spots. So be prepared for a little bit more rain than we've seen in a while. And then Friday at night, we're still seeing a few showers around before it finally calms down a little bit. So here's the roundup for tomorrow. 7 a.m. 50%, 70% at noon, 65 and 67 degrees with a 40% chance of rain. Imperial Valley will see a 30% shot in the morning, 67 at noon with the potential for a few thunderstorms embedded, and then we're going to continue to stick around into the 60s and 70s. Now, FutureScan shows that by Saturday morning, maybe a few renegade showers off to the east, but other than that, it should be just cloudy for a majority of the day. So rainfall totals go as follows. About 1/4 of an inch in the Yuma area, I think, is what we can expect. The closer you get to the mountains, the more you're going to get with this system. And then especially as you go over the mountains, we're going to see closer to about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, especially if you get into one of those thunderstorms. Not as much to the west, Imperial Valley, but our main threats, maybe a little flooding. So an okay amount of flooding, especially in those thunderstorms where we get a lot of that rain and some of the washes flowing. High winds, just don't see it. Maybe a gust here and there, but just don't see it. And in a hail, absolutely not. As far as the next 7 days are concerned, we'll go from the 60s to the 70s in a hurry, the latter portion of the weekend. And then we're back up to the 80s for the second half of next week as we warm up just a little bit. So kind of the polar opposite of what's going on right now. So come on out and enjoy what is certain to be a very nice night as it is overcast. Our temperatures won't change too much from what they're at right now. So whatever you walk outside your door, you should be able to keep it on as you go throughout the rest of the evening. Once again, we are live at the Yuma Palms Mall. This starts at 6 p.m. This is the Village Jazz Series. We'll talk more about this event coming up in just a little bit. For now, stay with us. We'll be right back.